What's going on, guys? So I realized here that the video that I did on American Home Shield last year was getting a lot of feedback, and a lot of people were commenting about their experiences with American Home Shield. And just I realized that I never updated you guys on what happened in my situation. So if you are going through a dispute right now with American Home Shield, you're going to want to watch this, and hopefully it'll include some helpful information on how you can get your issue resolved with them, or at least point you in the right direction as far as like legal action or anything like that goes. Okay, so I'm having to recall this because it was almost a year ago that I was having this issue. And the notes, I was taking notes every time that I spoke to someone at American Home Shield, anytime that I spoke to someone with the vendor or the contractor that they had sent out numerous times. I was making a note of it. And this was sometimes 3, 4 calls a day that I was making to these people, like I was seriously harassing them. Um, I contacted, like my notes here say, that I contacted them on April 5th of last year. Spoke to someone, requested it be escalated because at that point I had made probably somewhere around 50 calls to American Home Shield, speaking to different people about the same thing and really getting nowhere. Hold on, lip gloss. I don't like the way that looks. Anyway, sorry. Um, so at that point, there's no point in me speaking to someone at this level. You know what I mean? You've already explained to me that you can't get anything done. You keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Every time that I'm calling, it's almost like they're not even sharing notes. I'm having to start all over from scratch just for someone to go back, confirm everything that the previous person had said, which is too bad, so sad. So I just started requesting right off top, speak to a supervisor. I need to speak to a supervisor. This needs to be escalated. Um, I wouldn't get through. I would rarely ever get through to a supervisor. They would say, "Oh, we'll have one call you back," and I'd be like, "Absolutely not," because no one ever calls me back. Okay, so I will continue to remain on hold, and then eventually they would just hang up on me. So, okay, plan B. Contacted the contractor who had come out twice already. This time I contacted them. I didn't let them know that I spoke to them before. I contacted them and I was just as nice as I can be. And I was like, yes, you guys have come out to my property a couple of times, and I just was hoping I could get a copy of the service records. Um, and the girl that I hadn't spoken to before sent them to me. Okay. So on the notes here that I wrote down, she said that on June of 2019, they had a work order, and the work order said no diagnosis. No diagnosis. Right. So you just came out here, add a refrigerant, but there was no diagnosis. Now, why is that? That seems kind of odd, right? You're supposed to have a diagnosis regardless. If you can perform any action, then there has to be a reason that you perform that action, correct? So the fact that they're turning in work orders that say no diagnosis is suspicious in itself. Same thing for August 2020. They turned in a work order, said no diagnosis. So at that point, when I'm like getting this information, I guess at that point, someone, maybe her supervisor, someone must have caught on to her giving me this information and asking why am I requesting it and all. So now they're panicking, right? Because they realize they've given me the shooting, the smoking gun, right? That they have contractors coming out here performing things and then turning in work orders saying that there's no diagnosis, when my contract with American Home Shield clearly states that they are supposed to diagnose and repair. That's all I needed. So I contacted them again. I don't even know at this point how many calls I've made to American Home Shield to get them to resolve this. But basically, this time I let them know, you guys are either going to come out, replace my unit. I'm not going to pay for that. Or I am going to seek legal action, because at this point, I've communicated with you. I've kept a log of every time that I've contacted your company, every person that I've spoken to, that you can't say that I didn't try to resolve this with you directly. There's no way that you could say that I didn't try to work it out with you. Your arbitration agreement does not say that I have to accept whatever that you try to give me. It just says that I need to try to work it out with you first. And I did. So at that point, they basically said, well, there's nothing else that we can do. If you want to go that route. They were basically calling my bluff. So at that point, I just went full out. Okay. I left the review with the Better Business. I reported them to the Better Business Bureau, left a review there, and requested a case be opened. So they contacted them based on that. And while that was in motion, I started to research and see what else I could do. And I think that this next thing that I did was the turning point in my dispute with American Home Shield. I contacted the Florida Attorney General's office to file a complaint against American Home Shield. While I was in the process of filing that complaint with the Attorney General's office, American Home Shield had replied back to the Better Business Bureau, basically disputing my dispute, saying that, oh, well, they did everything that they were supposed to do, that they sent the contractor out and, they weren't at fault or anything. They just basically tried to come back and say they didn't do anything wrong. They did everything by the book, and that they, everything was on the up and up. And so I replied to their reply and basically presented my evidence as to the contrary, and the information that I got from my contractor saying that it couldn't be repaired. The solution that I offered to American Home Shield, if they felt that their contractor who had come out and stated that it could be repaired, well, then you go ahead and you pay for the refrigerant then after they repair it. And so at this point, I send it back to the Better Business Bureau as my rebuttal. And in the meantime, the Florida Attorney General's office gets my complaint. They get I sent them all of the evidence that I could send them. Anything that I could, all of the notes, all of the phone calls, anything that I sent them, the contractor that I had, his workup, I sent them that. I sent them anything that I could to prove my case. I sent them a copy of my contract and exactly where it states that you're supposed to diagnose, replace, or repair. And you didn't do that. So the Attorney General's office contacts American Home Shield, and they get back to me and say, why do I have this Don't y'all hate when y'all lip gloss do that? Like, creates this film? Anyway. So they get back to me. The Attorney General's office tells me that they opened up an investigation in regards to it. And shortly thereafter, I am contacted by American Home Shield, who tells me that they are going to send the contractor out, who said that it could be repaired, who said that the evaporator coil could be repaired. They're going to send him out and they're going to have him repair it. And I'm sorry, because I'm just remembering this whole thing in my head. They're going to send him out, have him come and get the evaporator coil, right? And they are going to pay for the refrigerant, right? So I'm like, cool. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and get him to come out here and y'all go ahead and pay for that refrigerant. So he comes out, he gets the evaporator coil, right? Now, mind you, we're deep in the April now. It's hot. Okay. I didn't have to purchase like little room fans for me and my sons and everything, because it's hot, we in April in freaking Florida. It's burning up. So he comes out and gets it, and after about a day or two, he calls me and tells me it can't be repaired. There are too many holes in it. He said it was like Swiss cheese, is what he said, right? Now, this is the same guy, right, that told me that he's never seen an evaporator coil that could not be repaired, right? Yeah. Well, when American Home Shield's money was on the line for them paying for that refrigerant, now all of a sudden it can't be repaired. But when it was my money on the line, oh yeah, it can be repaired. It was bullshit. And I am laughing at this point because I already knew that. I already knew he was going to get that evaporator coil back to the shop and determine that there was no repairing that thing, right? So now I'm getting contacted by American Home Shield because they realize that they have to replace that evaporator coil or the whole unit, right? Well, they don't want to do that. It's too much money. They don't want to do it. They like, look, we will give you a credit for, X amount of dollars or whatever, but we're not gonna, we're not gonna pay to replace that, And so, because now we're talking about the thousands of dollars, and then the guys got to come back and repair it. And so the guys at the shop are telling me that I have to pay for that. Like, oh, well, we can either bring your evaporator coil back as it is, or, you would have to pay to get it replaced, and we would have to order it and all of this stuff. And I said, I'm not doing any of that. Okay. I said, this is an ongoing dispute. I would tell you to hold your horses until it's been resolved, but I can guarantee you that it won't be me paying. And so the guy is literally trying to sell me a new unit. He was like, look, I've never seen a situation where, they have paid to, replace an evaporator coil in a unit this old. So if I were you, I would just, we can give you a discount on a new unit and everything like that. And I said, look, unless the discount is 100%, I'm not paying. Okay. Hold your horses. This is an ongoing dispute. I replied to the email that I received from the Attorney General's office in regards to the findings, and American Home Shield's response to it in that they didn't want to pay for it. I don't know what was said after that. I really don't. But all I know is, after about a week, I get another email from the Attorney General's office basically saying that they have agreed to replace the evaporator coil for your unit. And so with that information, I contact them again to set it up. And wouldn't you know, they tried to play dumb, like they didn't know that that was what was said. There's no note in here saying that, and all of this craziness. I don't care what it is. I said, ma'am, I have an email here from the Florida Attorney General's office stating that someone from your company agreed to pay to replace the evaporator coil in my unit. So talk to whoever you need to talk to, okay? But you're not going to tell me that they're lying, and you're not going to tell them that they're lying. So go ahead and figure out who you need to speak to so we can go ahead and get this set up. So then after that, they did agree to go ahead and pay for the evaporator coil to be replaced. So I contact the contractor, who has my old evaporator coil, and let him know to go ahead and put the order in. American Home Shield is going to pay for it. And he's like, okay, well, God damn it. Okay, well, it'll be a few days. A few days turned into like, I don't even know how long it took. It was like 2 weeks to get the new evaporator coil. I'm like calling these people like every other day. Like, what's up? Where is the coil? Okay? Like, y'all made it seem like it was something that y'all could just get real quick. Where is it? Like, y'all are stalling. And so, I don't even know when exactly they brought it back. I could definitely tell that the tone had changed when the guy came back the second time. He definitely did not seem happy to be there. Okay. He seemed a little frustrated, and definitely was not as nice as he was when he took it. Okay. When he thought that I was going to be the one footing the bill for it. So, you know, after all of that had come to, you know, whatever, to an end, I canceled my policy like that day. Soon as because I was afraid that if I canceled it before, they would feel like, well, we don't have an active contract with this person. We're not obligated to do anything. So I didn't cancel my policy until that evaporator coil got replaced. And then I canceled my policy. I was like, I am not going to pay whatever the remaining amount is for this policy for canceling it early because of the situation at hand. And that was that. They accepted that I wasn't going to pay any more towards that policy. And that was pretty much how it went. So to anyone who is disputing things with American Home Shield, that my advice would be to try, number one, keep a record of every time you have to contact them about the issue. Try to get service records if possible from the contractor. Don't let on why you're trying to get it if you don't already have a copy of it, but try to get it. It's going to be helpful. I don't know if contacting the Better Business Bureau is helpful or not. I mean, I think that the combination of the two was probably helpful, but if you're not getting anywhere and you know that for a fact that you've contacted them about the same issue that should have been resolved the first time, with your AC unit or heating unit or whatever it is that you're disputing, and that's something that you feel they just put a band-aid on and they didn't actually fix it, attempt to resolve it with them directly. Even if you have to be the squeaky wheel, even if you have to contact them every single day, try, because every attempt that you try to resolve with them, they can't hold that against you. They can't say that, oh, you're suing me and you didn't give us a chance to fix it. No, I gave you many chances to fix it. You didn't want to fix it. So review your contract. And if you don't get anywhere with them, contact your state attorney general's office and reach out to them and let them know exactly what's happening and present whatever proof you have. And that usually, I ain't gonna say usually, that helped me in that situation. I honestly think if I hadn't contacted the attorney general's office and had them reach out to them, I wouldn't have even gotten that far. They were adamant that they weren't going to do anything. Don't cancel your policy if you're in an active dispute. If you've already canceled your policy, I would still pursue, contacting the attorney general's office and letting them know about it, because eventually, these people are going to get wise to the fact that they're going to have to start doing what they're supposed to be doing, or else a lot of eyes are going to be on them because people are contacting or seeking legal action against them for their predatory practices. So I hope that this was helpful to you guys. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to provide you guys with the update to it. It was just, once I was done with the situation, I was so over it. I didn't want to think about it, talk about it, or anything. And I was so frustrated and so angry about it. So I do apologize that I didn't get you guys an update as to what ended up happening, but I have air. Okay. The new evaporator coil is working. I haven't had an issue with my AC unit since they replaced it, and that just lets me know that that was the reason, because it was breaking every year. Every year. And so the fact that it hasn't had any issues since last year lets me know that they knew, and they just didn't do anything about it. So in the meantime, guys, be blessed, be good, be safe. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.